Alice White stared at the divorce papers on the table and realized that her husband had already signed them. Then, she looked toward the window. Jasper Beckett's upright figure reflected in her watery eyes. He looked charming under the afternoon sun but also cold and domineering. Even from behind, he radiated aloofness. I've signed it. You should also hurry and sign it. I want to finish all the legal procedures before Leah returns. Jasper had his hands clasped behind him and didn't turn to look at her. We've already agreed on the assets before marriage, so there won't be any issues with that. However, I will compensate you with another 20 million and a villa on the outskirts. After all, you'd be leaving without anything else. It'd be hard for me to explain that to Grandpa later if you do. Alice was stunned and upset. Does Grandpa know you're divorcing me? So what if he knows? Do you think it'll affect my decision? After hearing that, Alice felt faint and grasped the table tightly. Then, she asked softly while on the verge of tears, Jasper, can we not get a divorce? Finally, Jasper turned around and looked at her with a strange gaze. He had thin lips, deep eyes, and fierce features. Alice would still feel a flutter in her heart when she looked at his perfectly contoured face. Why? Because I love you. Alice's eyes were red and filled with tears. I love you, Jasper. I still want to be your wife, even if you don't have any feelings for me. Alice White, I've had enough. Every second is torture to me in this loveless marriage. Jasper waved his hand. He didn't have the patience to listen to her anymore. It was a mistake that you married me. You knew I was fighting with Grandpa. You also knew I had feelings for someone else and we couldn't be together. Now that the 3-year period is up and Leah is returning from Misgravia, it's time you vacate the position of Mrs. Beckett. Alice had her head down and her tears fell onto the table. She quickly wiped them away. Still, Jasper sighed and his gaze became deeper. At this time, his phone rang. When he saw the caller, he quickly answered it. Leah, have you boarded the plane? His tone was extremely soft. He was totally unlike the indifferent, cold man that Alice knew. Jasper, I'm already at Solana City Airport. Leah's excited voice sounded through the phone. What? Didn't you say you would fly tonight? I wanted to give you a surprise. Leah, wait for me. I'll pick you up right now. With that, he quickly walked past Alice. Once the study room door closed, the depressed atmosphere remained. Alice had had a crush on Jasper for 10 years, and they were married for 3 years. She had given her all for this family and stayed loyal to him. Yet, in the end, he only felt as though it was torture. Now that Jasper was finally freed, he ruthlessly abandoned her, excited to marry his first love. Alice felt pain in her heart. She could never make him fall for her no matter how hard she tried. After that, she took a deep breath and shook her head as tears fell onto Jasper's name on the divorce papers. That night, Jasper took Leona Gardner back to Seaview Manor. The delicate woman was being held in his arms. They entered the villa in a dignified manner, attracting everyone's attention. Jasper, you haven't divorced Alice yet. I don't think it's a good idea for us to be so close. Alice would be mad at me. Leona caressed Jasper's chest as she spoke. She won't. Jasper didn't hesitate.